the last game that I'll be doing today. There's plenty more coming up, so if you still want to watch more, trust me, stick around. Speaking of sticking around, my friend Reese, how you doing?
Can you hear us? Oh, you're muted. You have to unmute your microphone.
I think they start muted on Google Hangout for whatever reason.
Google is weird. Yeah, there we go.
This is the first time I've ever used it, actually.
Wait,
hello!
Are you guys able to hear me right now?
Yeah, gotcha.
Yes.
And
Welcome to the Super Show!
Hello! We also do have, the screen should be sharing with your game, so you should be able to see it without a delay.
I do know that Reese is having some internet issues, so
no worries.
He might be laggy or disappear occasionally, to warn everyone.
Okay, cool. Well, Reese,
pretty much. I kind of run. I was gonna say I work in the middle of nowhere, so the internet connection I'm provided with is pretty slow satellite internet. So if I do kick out, just be patient. I might come back.
Yeah, no worries. I think we got you, my friend. So, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what the game is.
Hey everybody, my name is Reese, kind of one-man studio at a little gig I call Boncho Games. I'm just gonna type up on chat so you know which one I am. Okay, and yeah, game we got going here is just a little project I've been working on called Blitz Breaker. Nothing too complicated. The basic gist of it was I wanted to create a platformer where the controls would work equally good on mobile as they would PC or console, something like that.
Okay. And the main controls here are being able to, I can dash depending on what arrow key I hit, and that's really honestly the big thing there. So you're gonna rely on momentum and also gravity to get you maybe into other areas, to try and collect stuff, to run into different walls, and as we go through it, it complicates a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much. The scheme's pretty simple in the first world, and more concepts get added the further and further you go into the game. And once you get to the pretty later levels, it gets pretty technical.
Yeah, I like you said, without having known why the control schemes were like this, I like that it can be very simple, but in the same thing, there's also different techniques, like trying to slam around too much. Like sometimes I had to use gravity to actually lower myself down a little bit. Otherwise, like in this stage right here with the spikes and the coins just right above it, darn, missed a couple. It's actually better to just let myself fall a little bit and position myself a little bit better.
Pretty much, and that becomes a pretty big thing later on when you get to the levels that require much greater reflexes and timing and all that.
Now, the character design, it reminds me, at first it reminded me like a little evil professor dude, like, you know, with the hair just on the side. It kind of reminds me of almost like an Invader Zim Gur right now, a little robot. Was there any, what was the design choice on this?
Man, not even gonna lie, I was just kind of winging designs until I saw something that fit.
Right.
The original design I had for this was gonna be like, you played as some miner that was scaling down a series of mine shafts and you traveled via a magic beard or something like that. And somehow that went from this to the cute little robot you're playing right now.
Ooh, and stuff's starting to get a little intense here. There's saw blades. Now, are there bosses in this game?
Yep. Pretty much each world is divided up into 3 sections. So you just beat the first part of the world. Now you're playing in the second where things get a little bit more technical. And then the third part of the world, there's a boss level, or a more, the first world kind of has a challenge level. It's not really a standard boss, but the later levels actually have actual boss levels.
Okay. Now, what are these little pink squares that I'm picking up?
Well, they are to unlock the warp zones. So there's 3 of them per section of levels. And then back in the level select screen, if you go back to a world you've already visited, you'll see that you can access these warp zones, and they're more of very challenging levels comparatively.
Okay. And you can't stop yourself momentum, as when you dash, you gotta finish out the dash, it looks like.
Exactly, yeah.
There's another way of doing this. Let's see. No, I guess that's the way. Now, this seems like a game that speedrunners might be into. Do you have modes that you're thinking of for that, or?
Well, I currently have a score system in place that kind of, it rewards both speed and collecting the coins. The coins, if you haven't noticed, they increase your little timer at the top, and the timer is what your points are.
Okay.
So yeah. Funny you mentioned speedruns. A few days ago, I saw what I believe is the first speedrun I've ever seen of it. And I literally watched a guy crush the entire demo I gave him in roughly 3 minutes flat. It was hilarious.
That's awesome. Yeah, the speedrunning community is amazing. They will just do crazy stuff with a game.
Oh man, speedrunning is one of my favorite things about gaming.
How do we want to do this?
Okay, so this one may need a little bit of explanation.
Okay.
The demos I've got out now, there's actually a bit of a tutorial here. But if you notice, if you press the space bar, you can actually perform a little hop.
Oh, snap. That changes everything.
Yeah.
I should have done that because the space bar has been actually a key that the game has talked about a few times now. Whoops. Well, okay, that wasn't the that wasn't the best. Okay. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Yeah, that makes big difference. Oh, gotcha, fire, little robot dude. Okay, yeah, this changes everything. Whew. Okay, so let's see. Oh, jeez. Oh! All right, so we're jumping there. We're jumping there. We're jumping there, boys and girls. Oops. Okay, not maybe. Okay, I think we're speed running right now. Watch this. It's amazing. The genius. The genius is happening right now. Okay, maybe not, but maybe not. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, Bim Clunk asks a very good point. Does this guy get headaches?
Well, I don't know. He's a little robot. He seems to take blowing up pretty well.
Alright, we're gonna go grab the little. So the warp zones on average will be harder, and we can get those with by grabbing the pink squares, correct? The power-ups. Oh, this looks.
Yep.
Woo! Okay, stuff's. Oh! Oh! I just got sniped. Yeah, stuff's getting a little more hectic here. Oh, no! No! Oh! So what exactly, what other things are you thinking of implementing? Other things that you think that may need to be pointed out a little bit more that you really, really enjoy about the project?
One of the things I do like is, hopefully it becomes obvious in the final version, but there's also different heads you can collect by, being a completionist, collecting the stars, completing the warp zones like I mentioned. You can collect different heads which change the appearance of your character.
Oops. Okay, I'm trying to like do some like cool maneuvers here, and it's not working. The cool maneuvers are not for me, I don't think.
That is all good.
It's still fun though. The fact that you allow me to retry really quickly is really nice. I've played a lot of games that expect you to kind of go back and forth between different things, and they have these extremely long wind-ups, or I got to do all kinds of random stuff to go. I hate that. And the fact that you allow me to immediately get back into the game and try again is really, really nice. 27 deaths. Oof.
I'm glad you like that.
You have to, because especially too, you know, if you were really close to something too, and then you make me go through like 4 different choices to get back in, I'm gonna get even more frustrated. But okay, so this is kind of like the first, not like you said, not a boss, but it's the first kind of obstacle that's a bit different than the rest of the game, I guess, is one way of thinking about it.
Yeah, the level's quite a bit longer than the others. You'll notice it goes on for about 6 or 7 screens, as opposed to the usual 2 or 3.
Mm. And then I have stuff chasing me, so there's an added thing in trying to kill me.
Exactly. I see in chat here, there's someone that's pointing out that this will probably appeal to Super Meat Boy fans, and
yeah,
I'm not even gonna hide it. Super Meat Boy is definitely one of my big influences in this game. But I hope it appeals to lots of people who just like a good challenging platformer, or they want something a little bit different on iOS.
And how, control-wise on the iOS, how does it play? What, is it tapping the screen in a certain direction, or?
Taps and swipes. A tap starts your, tap does your little hop, and swiping in any one of the 4 directions sends your character in that way.
Okay.
So, try to keep it as simple as possible so nobody blames the controls for dying.
Which, yeah, people are gonna do anyway, so it might as well at least not make it the fault of it.
Fair. Totally fair.
A few people are asking in chat if it's coming out for Android. So maybe what your planned release platforms are would be an awesome thing to tell people.
You know, I am working on Android. I've kind of run into a few issues performance-wise. Haven't quite figured that out. I'm still kind of new to all of this. But definitely first it's going to be PC and iOS. I'm probably going to start Steam Greenlight campaign in September. So I'm hoping to have everything good for the 4th quarter, like towards the end of the year. And then I'm going to start looking at fixing up the Android version and potential other platforms afterwards.
Okay. Now, chat, I'm gonna need a little help. I need a little backup here. I need some hype in the chat so we can get through and we can beat this level. This level's got me down a little bit. I need a little bit of love. Can I get a little bit of love from chat? Just a little bit. Okay.
Go, Tenchi, go!
That's terrifying me. Oof. See, it wasn't in chat yet, but I could feel it coming, and because of that, because of Twitch chat, Emily will love us, and we'll beat the level. Oh God, what's going on? No, there's no keys. I need keys. Okay, there we go.
Don't worry, that was just a little cutscene area.
Oh, and that was me exploding immediately. Too much hype, chat. Too much hype. Too much hype. Okay, now, I love the music in the game, by the way. Oh, he grabs on.
Yeah, you know what? Let me, the guys who did the music, Fat Bar, they have done a phenomenal job in providing me with my music and sound.
Uh-huh.
They approached me pretty early on in development before I even really knew what I was doing. And they provided me with a little sample, and man, I was completely blown away with what they gave me. It's like,
awesome.
How could I say no?
Oh, well, I got greedy. Oh God, I got slow. I like that once
so
again.
I'm just gonna post it on
yeah, please do.
in chat here. So for anyone who's hanging out in chat, I just posted 2 links to the guys who are doing the music, and one that's just a preview of the music itself. We will be selling the soundtrack when the game comes out, so if you guys particularly like it, you're more than welcome to get it.
So far, it's really good. I love it. The overall aesthetic feel of the game is really, really nice. The graphics, everything plays very, very smoothly, which is really important to me. And it's so far so good, man. This is great.
And the robot is adorable,
It's
and
adorable.
there's rainbows.
Yep. I mean, what else can you ask for? Oh god, except not landing on spikes. Too much to ask for, I think. Oh god. I feel really bad about killing the little robot dude. Okay, we're good. Oh! Okay. Yeah, like the character design is actually really cool.
Oh, glad you liked it. I stressed a lot about that.
Well, it was worth it then. Okay, let's see how.
I'm glad you agree with me.
Okay, I think we're gonna have to. Oh, okay. Oops. Now, let's see. Let's do this.
So, another thing, yeah, you can also just press space on the platforms, and that hops you off them as well.
Awesome. Okay. So, like we did in the last level to try and. Oh, okay. Well, that was good. In theory, that was a good move. Ow. I like that there's a lot more to the game right now than just it's a lot of. I really like the fact that there's extras in here that you can do if you want, but you don't have to get them, and these will allow you to open up and do more the harder levels. So by doing the harder things, the people that want to do the harder things, they're rewarded with more challenges that they will enjoy. Whereas otherwise, for those that are maybe less worried about the overly challenging levels, they can just go through and just beat the level. Whoops. So that people can kind of take it at their own speed. Whoops.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of what I try to do is try to keep it fair, and anyone who wants to dig deeper is more than welcome to, but if you just want to blow through it, that's just as good.
Yeah, because I know these aren't exactly my best games, but I'm able to, I feel like the game is allowing me to kind of figure out stuff at my own speed, and it's not punishing me for not having maybe the craziest ideas. Although, you know, I can get a better score, I find that a lot of the really, really crazy extra stuff to get is not terribly hard. Yet, at least. Alright, so let's see.
Yeah, there's a few levels I have planned later on that were planned with quite a bit of malice in them.
Yeah, no, I can see this getting really intense, and get to the point to where that even though I'm in California and it's 108 degrees, I'm gonna be sweating bullets no matter what the temperature is, because this I can see it getting this getting a little rough.
But as long as you feel it's fair.
Yeah, it's like you said, if anything, it's not the controls or anything, it would just be me not reacting in time or calculating where exactly my little dude is. Of course,
That was actually half my...
Good.
That was actually half the reasoning for the rainbow trails. I found sometimes it was moving a little too fast to track, so something like the trail makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. Now, you said there's going to be different heads later that you can put on your robot. Are there going to be different trails?
You know, I actually haven't even thought of that. That's not a bad idea.
Like, I don't know if that's probably a lot more to program and stuff, but I definitely think that would be maybe if someone thought something else was maybe a little easier to see, or maybe like an invisible one or something for the crazy people. Because I need crazy bright colors to keep my attention on the little guy and not the death traps.
Yeah, I'll probably have an option to disable the trail.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of extra trails, if I do, it'd probably be post-launch.
Sure.
There's a couple other things I'm working on for the PC launch. Like, I'm sure you guys have noticed, but since I kind of initially designed this for mobile, you got the two giant black bars on the side of the screen.
Right.
I'm actually currently looking into, well, talking to a couple guys to help me get some art going, so it kind of looks like it's an arcade cabinet on the side.
Nice.
Kind of filling the void out there.
Yeah, good call on that. Okay. I kind of like that I can just kind of bounce. The screen shake's really nice too. I think Kitty mentioned that. I like the fact that I can kind of plan my strategy out a little bit on most of these levels by just kind of jumping or standing in one place. Ooh, I like this. I like this level though. Yeah.
We should probably be wrapping this up shortly here.
Okay.
I feel so bad. I'm like the stream drill sergeant. But so if you had anything else that you wanted to say or links you want to put in the chat and things like that, now is the time to do it. And then we're gonna be
Alright, definitely,
over. Yeah. So go for it.
Yeah, sorry about that kind of delay on my side. Yeah, no, I'll post some links after, and I'll hang out and chat a little bit after if anyone has any further questions that I wasn't able to get to. But in terms of pipeline, yeah, I'm looking at putting Steam Greenlight out next month. If anyone is interested in following, if they want some news on when it's coming out, I just posted a little link for a little newsletter I got. Nothing intrusive, I'll just send an email when like the Steam Greenlight starts and when the game actually launches. And if anyone wants to try out the demo that includes the first world, he's already passed it, but this takes you up to the end of the level where the giant saws are chasing you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if anyone also wants to follow development a little bit closer, got a little Twitter page right here. I post stuff on a pretty consistent basis. Usually every few days I post a little gift of what I'm working on.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, you made it to this one. Sorry, my stream just cut out for like 2 minutes right there.
No worries. No worries. I did the coolest thing. I did like so many cool things. It was amazing. Just assume that is completely the truth.
You know what? I trust you, so I believe you 100%.
Awesome. Awesome.
Tenchi, you have gone way farther than I did when I was playing this.
It's so much fun. It's addicting. I actually want to. I don't have the feeling every time I die of frustration. It's more like, oh man, I was so close. I'm totally gonna do it this time. I'm gonna prove to the game that I can do it. And I think it's missing in certain games. I think Meat Boy does that well too. It's if you don't have any, if the player hates the game or thinks the game's against them, they're not gonna come back. And you definitely want the player to come back, especially on a puzzle game like this. I'm liking it.
All right, so right before you jump into the next area, if we could just look at one more thing beforehand, if you don't mind. Okay, so if you want to go back to the level select stage, so we'll just pass this one.
Okay.
Okay, so if you notice in the top right-hand corner, you got a little flashing star.
Yes.
If you press R, it's gonna show you the types of heads you can select now. So far, you only got the 2, but as you get more stars and you beat the warp zones, and there are heads you can collect in each one of the boss levels, you can build up your repertoire of heads quite well. I'm planning for about 25 of them when all is said and done.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you could get more heads.
Oh, Mega Man water physics. Uh-oh. Oh, you are a mean person. That is mean. Uh-oh. Oh, and then the momentum shifts? Oh, you are gonna get really mean later on, aren't you? Because if you're implementing differences like this already, it's gonna get mean.